lately I've been driving around in my car, looking for some kind of open bar. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright.
Hello and welcome to the Lord's Brain Co YouTube channel, and today this is an exciting series that is sponsored by Tiger Sheds. And basically I've been out shopping for a shed, and Tiger Sheds has said, hey, why don't you do something with us? And I went over, had a look at their sheds. They are top quality, and I was like, yes, this is the kind of shed I want. So you're going to see a whole series of me doing the shed build, and it's all about having a space. So we've got the new house, and I now have no room in the house really for a proper studio or a workshop, and I want to be able to build stuff in my house, and at the moment I just can't. So I just don't have anywhere to do it. I can't go into the kitchen and then start chopping stuff up. So, and also it's Huddersfield and it rains constantly, so I didn't want to be in a position where, you know, I'm starting a project and then it chucks it down. So the first thing is I'm going to show you the base, and this is what I've been busy on this last week. So I've installed what's called an eco base, and I might have overdone it on the gravel if I'm totally honest, but the idea of this is that if I go to the corner here, so we've got down here, we've got a plastic grid, and these are made out of like recycled plastic. It's nothing too fancy. And then we've got a membrane, and then under that we've got MOT. So what we did is, first, this garden runs off in this direction, so as you can see this is almost above the ground, where over here it's pretty much countersunk. So what we did is we cut the turf out first, and then we got it somewhere near level. And then we ordered from 88. These are good guys, by the way. They're over in Cleckheaton, ATA, Builders and Plumbers Merchant. I've got a huge bag, 1 ton bag of MOT, which is, for those that don't know, I'll take this off because it rained last night. It's like a gravel and sand mixture. So what you do is you dig it all out, and the beauty of this particular system is you don't need to go real deep. You dig it all out, you level it all off as best as you can, then you fill it full of MOT, and then you stamp that down. So some people use a whacker plate. We did it slightly differently, and then once you've got that level, then you put the grid down, and we realised that the grid is actually handed as well, so make sure we worked out that you had to build it from this corner that way, and then fill it full of gravel, and the gravel's, I think, 12mm gravel, 10-12mm gravel. So now this base is absolutely solid, and this particular where we are, there's a lot of clay. There's not a lot of topsoil, and there's quite a bit of clay, and the water doesn't run off that well. So the reason I wanted to do this was over a concrete base, was basically I didn't want to change the way the water moved on the garden. So that's the main reason. So you can stand there with a hose pipe on this, and the water just drains away straight away. So one of the things I noticed is basically, so I had my 2 10-year-olds help me do this, and they really mucked in, but in places there's just a bit too much gravel on the top, and obviously we want the shed to sit not on the gravel. So you know, it's fine, I'll just sweep it back. But the best bit about it is it's rained pretty much all night last night, and there's very little. There's a little bit of water over here, but it's only damp to the touch. It's not soaking. So, you know, and over here it's just like completely dry. I don't know how I'm going to get all the stones out of my grass. That's going to be a challenge. But the next job is going to be getting the shed in. I want to paint the shed, You're going to wonder why I've done it this direction as well, and I'm still not convinced myself whether I've done it in the right way. So from the house here, if we were to sit at the patio doors here, you're kind of looking at the side of the shed, but this needs to be somewhere as well. The kids won't let me throw it away. So this area here is the last bit to get sun. So when I turn this around the other way, basically it filled all of that space all the way back. And I thought, I don't know, as you come through the gate, it just makes it really narrow and it just doesn't feel very open. So I've moved it this way, and then all of this area here, I want a patio. So when you come out of the shed, it'll be a nice patio area there. The tables and chairs, we can be there if we want to, and it's a nice sunny area. Plus there's going to be beer dispensing in this shed, as well as a workshop and a studio, and maybe a tiny little beer fridge in there, all being well. So that's got to be done. So there's quite a bit of work that went into this, and my 2 10-year-old boys, honestly, absolute machines. It was so hot when we did this on Saturday. I was like cutting 2 or 3 bits of turf off, and then having to sit down, get my heartbeat back into order, and so on and so forth. I was absolutely whacked, and the boys were just like machines and just kept going. So I realised I'm definitely getting old. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with all this hardcore and gravel. My neighbour is building a big patio area, so I'm hoping that they're going to want it. So yeah, and then the rest of it I shall probably put on the group chat for the estate, and if anybody else wants it, they can have it. But yeah, eco-base, I can't explain how solid that feels as well. So I'm pretty pleased with it. I love the fact that I've not affected the surface runoff as well. So and if you're wondering why my garden looks overgrown, well, this is part of the problem of not having a shed. I don't have a lawnmower, so I have to rely on my children kicking a ball around and trashing the grass, which seems to work quite well. So yeah, so that's where we're at, and let me just stop the camera here. Channel. I've got my mate over, and he's a bit camera shy. He's wanted by Interpol, so can't have him on camera. But we're going to put the shed up. So I haven't painted the back because I wanted to show you the colour. So this is the tiger skin dip that they put on, and every single shed that you get has already been dipped. And this is obviously the 10x8 shiplap pent shed, so there's no gaps in there, so it's nice and sturdy put together. I've painted the other parts grey, which are there. They need another coat, to be totally honest, but we're just gonna go for it now. And what's really cool about these sheds is if you go online, they've got a YouTube channel, and on the YouTube channel it's got videos on how to put it together. Now the guys, how long is that video, Stu, in total?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. So they've done it in 10 minutes. So far we've been at it more than 10 minutes and decided what I've done already is probably not the best, but we're going to roll with it. So I'm going to set this up as a time lapse, and you can watch us put it all together.
It kind of feels like this. Hey, would you stay with me till the sun goes down? Being with you is so easy. Hey, if you want, honey, you can stick around. I don't know what it is about you, but you look so fine, riding shotgun in my car, top down when driving on the highway. The wind in our hair makes us look like movie stars. And you make me sing, yeah. Ooh, you make me sing, yeah. Oh, you make me sing, yeah. Ooh, you make me sing, yeah. Come on. I just wanna be close to your body, close to your body, close to your body. Oh, I just wanna be close to your body. Give me some sugar, wanna be. Oh, I just wanna be. Hey, what you say? Wanna stay in a hotel? Champagne and room service all night. Girl, I know this ain't no plaza, but I think we'll be alright. Ooh, come on. Isn't this really what life is all about? Doing what you can to have a good time. But baby, when I'm with you, I have the time of my life. Oh, you make me sing, yeah. Ooh, you make me sing, yeah. Come on. Oh, you make me sing, yeah. Ooh, you make me sing, yeah. I just wanna be close to you.
It's the day after we put it up, and the heavens opened, and we ran out of time, me and Stuart. So today, well, I say today, it was this evening. Kobe is obviously quite a bit smaller than me, and he has gone up and done the felting on the roof. He's 10, and he has done the felting up here. Look at that. He's done a nice job. He's done a really nice job. And you were up there. Even the neighbours were surprised to see you up there, and you were rocking the ballpoint hammer, weren't you? You were at the ball peen hammer, sorry. And also we re-siliconed. We took the windows back out. These are real glass in these sheds. It's raining. You get inside. And yeah, because it rains all the time here. So I took this out, siliconed them inside, and then pinned them back in, and they don't rattle anymore, and they're completely watertight. So all in all, not too bad. Couple of little issues. One is that I didn't really measure properly on the base, and when you open the door it just touches the floor slightly. But the plan is, this area where this bag is, I want to lower it there and then turn that into a patio. But to be honest, I'm sick of digging things up, so I'm not doing it right now. I've got the welcome pack and the tiger sign to put up there, but the job probably for this weekend is going to be painting the rest of it. So this is still in the tiger skin dip, and on the back it's not painted either, so this bit here all needs doing. So but yeah, coves. See, if you've got kids and they're all able to do stuff, when I was an apprentice, my mentor always just got me on with the job. Oh yeah, ignore this bit, I need to chop that off. And he just made me do the job, and that's how I learned. And you know, Cobes and Micah have cracked on with this, and they've done loads, and they've been brilliant. So I've enjoyed the process because I've got to spend time with my family, and it has been a family effort. So yeah, it's been awesome. So yeah, big shout out to Tiger Sheds. This has been an awesome project so far. So the next thing, I need to put the corner trims on. It's getting a bit late tonight, and I don't want it to be annoying the neighbours any more than I already am. So yeah, there you go. Pub Shed 2.0. We're getting there. So a quick update on the shed. I've done a bit more building, a bit more messing around. So we've got the trim pieces on now, and I've left these in the original tiger skin colour in the dip because I don't know, I just really like the colour. And the same on here. And we've got the really groovy tiger skin lasered logo, which also I've got a second one, so that's going to go inside the shed. The windows I've sealed up now. What I might do is, because we get quite aggressive weather, I think that's probably the word, I need to finish painting these little bits here, but I'm going to seal it up with silicone all the way around. I think that is probably the sensible thing to do. I also need to sort out the fact that I can't get the door fully open because this bit of dirt is a bit high, so I might I have one piece of grid left, so I might dig that out, put the grid in, do what I did before in that gap. Let me show you inside so you can see little bits like this I need to do. I haven't painted that bit. Let me just open up inside. Right, okay, so as you can see, not very tidy at the moment. Now we've had some rain, and the first, so literally when we, in the other part of the video where we felted, we were rushing. Me and Kobe were rushing to get it done because it was bad weather on the way. And we had a drip about here somewhere that would come through. Anyway, Cobb's got back up on the roof and went over and redid his nails, and that stopped. We haven't had any more leak from there, so that's all good. So now it's kind of like, what do we do next? So the floor and everything, it feels like it's settled down. I've got a lawnmower. Very excited about my lawnmower. Second hand Honda, can't go wrong. Needs a service. Had a go with it at the weekend. It's very racy. So yeah, I've got that's going to be another video on my RGB Addict Reviews channel. So this floor obviously is two parts, as is the roof. So I did put some extra screws in place, and yeah, that's just because we get such windy weather here. I just didn't want to leave it all to nails. So it's properly, I mean, you can just about hear that I can, if I put all my body weight on, I can make a bit of noise. So it's very, very solid. So I'm very happy with it. So next thing is really, we need to connect this to the electrics, and we need to get it insulated. So I'm thinking, I don't really want it like go mental and do it all with what you call it, like Kingspan and all that, because ultimately this whole thing has got to be reasonably priced. I don't want to sunk loads of money into this. So my plan is, I think there's some, well, at the brewery we've got like a foil that looks like bubble wrap that we wrap the tanks, some of the uni tanks in, and it works really, really well. And I'm thinking, what's nice about that is it keeps the heat in, and it also keeps the heat out. So if you're wanting to keep something cool, it'll stay cool on the inside, and even if the sun's on it, it's not heating it up. Equally so, it works the other way around. So I'm thinking, if I can get some of that and fill in all of these gaps everywhere that I've got, and then what I want to do is put all the wiring in that I need, and any kind of panels that are going to hold sockets and things like that in place, and then we'll board over the top of it, and I'll do the roof too. Now the floor, I had a sort of different idea with the floor. So I'm going to fill this crack up with silicone, and then I'm going to put, you know, the rubber sort of foam matting that you can get for, in fact my lad had it, his taekwondo centre had it as like matting for the gym floor. You can get some thick stuff. So I'm thinking that that's what I want to make the floor up of, because I'm still going to have a lawnmower in here and tools, as they are kind of spread around at the moment, although that's my neighbour's James, I will give it back. But I think it needs to be a useful space. So obviously the only thing with a petrol lawnmower is that you can't really hang it up, because obviously it's got oil and petrol in it. So this needs to be able to slide under a bench, because I don't want to lose the space. But I'm thinking maybe a bench here, or maybe we put the bench there, I don't know. And I want, you know, somewhere to hang stuff up. So that all needs doing. And yeah, the power, luckily there's an outside point on the house which is a 32 amp. It goes to a 32 amp plug. Sorry, not 32 amp plug, a 32 amp RCD, and it's rated for charging an electric car. So I'm not getting an electric car anytime soon. So I'm thinking that if I put a outdoor spur that's IP rated, and then I've got this gravel edge all the way along around the garden. So if I take all the gravel out and bury the cable in the dirt, and then I'm thinking I'll come across, I'll lift these slabs up and then bring it straight into here and have another switch spur, and then take one off there for the lights and then take one off for the plugs. Now, the other thing is, and probably the fun part of this, is I want to be able to use this space for when we have barbecues and things like that. I want to be able to serve beers, maybe have some drinks in here, all that kind of stuff like you would a pub shed. But I had another great idea, which is I might put some taps on the outside of the shed. So if I get the right machine that I want to get, there is an ability to have two kegs on. So we could get like a cocktail keg and also a beer keg. And then if you're having a barbecue, people can serve themselves outside. So I thought that would be good fun. So I'm not saying that I'm definitely going to do that, but that's an idea. I've also got a beer monster machine that needs plugging in. I need a beer fridge, a little beer fridge, so we'll probably get, I don't know where I'll get one of them, but one will pop up, no doubt. So we've got a little mini beer fridge. In winter, I think I'm going to need a heater. So I'm thinking a small heater, because there's not a massive space in here. And also, if we insulate it enough, the hope is that the insulation will keep the heat in, so I'm not having to constantly just keep the thing on all the time. The other thing I'm thinking is I might make bubble wrap insulation that I can just like put on Velcro stickies on here, so if I'm filming or I'm in here and I'm not wanting to be freezing cold, because I would think the glass will let out quite a bit of heat and also probably bring quite a bit in, but I can put those in, Velcro them in when I'm in here and I'm trying to stay warm. So, because I like the fact that we've got windows, and it's quite nice. I was originally going to just completely black them out, but then now I've got them, it's quite nice. You sat in here, you can you've got a beautiful fence to look at. But yeah, so I want to put an outside light on this section on the other side, so that this is all lit up, because these solar lights, they're great, the little ones here that I got from Costco, but if it's cloudy and overcast, they don't fully light up properly and they don't last the whole night, so I need some light there. And I also want to put a security camera on the corner outside to monitor this area in case somebody decides to come in or attempts to break into my shed, and I can deal with that. So yeah, it's all sealed up at the back down there now, and there's no sagging in the roof, which is nice, and it's also sealed up around there. But I might still block that up with a bit of insulation. So that's the pub shed so far, and you're probably wondering why I'm wearing sunglasses inside, and that's because I left my prescription glasses in one of my vehicles, which is at the garage. So that's all I've got. Well, I've got some reading glasses, but you really don't want to see me in them. Adds years. Anyway, stop being silly. This project has been awesome, and I like the colour and the style of the shed. It's really well built. I've got the little tiger. I put this up here. This is the tiger. It's like a little metal sign. But when it came, it had like an orange cardboard bit, and it looked really good. So I actually cut the orange cardboard bit and put it back behind the tiger sign so you can see it properly. When we boarded it all, insulated it, got the electrics, then we need to look at how we're going to lay it all out, and there's all sorts of ideas. Furniture wise, I've got my desk from my old house, which is currently at the brewery, I've got the big red chair. And if you're somebody who knows this channel, the big red chair, there's enough room in here, I reckon. But I don't know. I need your thoughts on that. Do I bring the big red chair in? But I do have room for my office chair. I also have another small desk. I have a metal cabinet, which would be very useful for putting things in. And the only thing I'm missing that I don't have is a workbench. I want a workbench with like a shadow board so I can hang certain tools up. And also those ones with shadow boards have like a higher up piece, so I can do, if you're like some of my review stuff on my review channel, RGB Addict, it's sort of looking down on the product. So I'd like to do it where I can mount my camera straight down and film. So I could do that if I had a workbench with a sort of sliding side bit. So yeah, I'm excited. I want to know, are you doing a pub shed? Are you looking to buy a pub shed or a shed for a project? Tell me about it in the comments or hook us up on social. If you're looking to buy a shed, I can highly recommend the Tiger Shed. I am so impressed with it. And in the video, in fact, you'll see right at the end of the fast moving build, one of the neighbours popped in who's got a shed, was like, that is a lovely shed. That's a nice shed. And there's a man who knows. So I've not had a shed before, apart from when I was a kid. So to have a shed expert come in and say they like your shed, that's a big thing. So I'm very happy with it. And none of the neighbours have complained about the way it looks. Everyone said it looks very smart and they're very impressed. They couldn't believe that Kobe was on the roof doing the felting and the boys helped me dig all the foundation out. Even Lids was out here helping me, and she did loads of stuff. She did the painting of the front because I'm not patient enough, and she helped me with like various bits and bobs. So I was like, Lids, help me, I can't hold this, or put that up, or whatever. And it's been really fun. And I would say, if you're somebody that's got a family, it's a really good fun project. And yeah, all the kids are involved. So even Casey came out to say, "Oh, I like the shed, Dad. I like the shed." So yeah, it's exciting. One thing I will say as well, my word, do you get a lot of nails and stuff? There is, one of the things that can be really frustrating when you're building something is you don't get enough nails. And I will say, Tiger Sheds, they absolutely give you, well, way more than you need. And, I've still got plenty of tacks, and I'm sure they'll come in useful. I mean, if I ever need to take the windows out for any reason, or I break one, I'll be able to get them back in, and I've got plenty of nails to do it. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. I'm just stoked to be doing this project. So also in the comments, if you've got any ideas of what I should put in here and how I should lay it out, it's an 8x10, please stick it in the comments. Give me some ideas. It'd be cool to have some stuff in here that you guys have kind of said would be fun or interesting. So yeah, get involved. So I'll put a link in the description below of Tiger Sheds where you can buy their sheds. And I will also put a link below where you can buy some of our beer. Just a quick one on the beer front. We are currently in the process of rebranding. So it's going to be very exciting. Mid-October we should be done. But there's also plenty of bottled beer in the pipeline. And there's also, we're doing more kegs. They'll be coming through quite quickly with polys and hopefully, all being well, key kegs. So keep your eye out for that. They're perfect for home drinking. You'll be able to get them in and if you've got a Linda Pygmy or a what's the other one, Porter Pint, they're perfect for that. And also you can use them if you have a small bar, if you've got a restaurant or something like that. Those kegs are also really good for your bar, your restaurant. We can supply lager, IPAs, all that kind of good stuff, and not in mad huge quantities. You can just go as small as 30 litres and yeah, off you go. So yeah, just a quick one. If you put in hashtag no boat, not no ship, no boat, in capitals, including the hashtag, not that you get a capital hashtag, but you know what I mean, no boat, you will get free shipping on our website. Head over to www.lordsmarine.com and you can get yourself some beers and have a great time. So yeah, cool. Right, I'm just rambling. If you stayed with us this long, you need a medal. You can have 1,000 Lords Branco points, which can be redeemed as hugs when you meet me. Okay, right. Cheers. Thank you, everybody. Au revoir.
Hey now, honey, I've been driving around in my car, looking for some kind of open bar. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Got no money, but I'll work it out with my charm. Having a good time, ain't doing no harm. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright. Hey now, honey, I've been driving around in my car, looking for some kind of open bar. It's gonna be alright, gonna be alright.